Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to integrate chat groups guilds into Survival Game Kit v2. So to start with, we're going to go to our Survival Game Kit project, then go to our edit, project settings, and then go down to collision, then go to preset and add a new preset. We're going to call this chat area. We're going to set the collision enable to query only, then we're going to tick ignore at the top here to ignore everything, then hit accept. Next, we're going to go back to our chat groups guilds projects, and in here we're going to right click our main folder and select migrate, hit OK, then go to your project's main folder. So for me that's on my desktop, Survival Game Kit, then content, and hit select folder and give this a sec. So once that's done, we're going to go back to our Survival Game Kit project. We'll close project settings and you'll see that you've got your chat groups guilds folder here. We're going to start by going to the Survival Game Kit folder and search for SGK controller. Open that up. Then in the components, add a new component, search for CGG, and we want CGG controller component, like that, then compile. Next, we're going to go back to the content browser. We'll get rid of this search. We'll select the chat groups guilds folder, and we're going to search for controller. And we want to open the CGG player controller. Bring that over here. And now we're going to copy over these sections here. So I'm just going to highlight those, do Control C, go back to our CGG controller and paste those in here like that. Next, we're going to add new keybind events for these actions. So to do that, we're going to go to the content browser, get rid of this search, go Survival Game Kit, Blueprints, Controls, right click and go to Input, then Input Action. And we'll call this one Chat Mode. Then we'll right click and duplicate this, and we'll call this one hide chat. Then right click and duplicate that, and we'll call this one social menu. Then we'll right click and duplicate that, and we'll call this one HUD mode, like that. Then scroll down and find the SGK character inputs and open that up. Then click the plus button up here, set this to hide chat. Then we're going to set the keybind to be J, then set settings behavior to override setting and set this to the option here. Then double click this and we're going to set the name, so this will be hide chat, and we'll just copy that and paste that into display name as well. Then we're going to click this plus button here to add a second keybind, and we're going to leave it as none. Change this to override settings and this to player mappable key setting. Double click this and we'll paste that name in, then do underscore secondary like that. Then paste in hide chat here for the display name. Then we can close these, so we'll just close those up and add the next keybind. And this one will be our chat mode, like that. Here we're going to set this to enter. We're going to set the option here to override settings and this to player mappable. Double click this and we're going to set the name to chat mode. Copy that and paste that in display name. Then add a new keybind. And down here we'll leave it as blank and change this to override settings, player mappable. Double click this, paste in that name again, do underscore secondary, like that. Then paste the name in here. Then we can close these up like that, and we'll add a new option. This one we'll set to our social menu like that. Open this up and open this, and we'll set this to be override settings, player mappable key settings. Open this up, we'll call this social menu. Copy that, paste it into the display name, then add a new keybind and do the same thing down here. So override settings, player mappable, open this up, paste that in and do underscore secondary, then paste the name in here. Then we'll set the first keybind here to N like that and leave the second one blank. Then we'll close these and we'll add our last one, so add that. Scroll down and this is going to be our HUD mode, and we'll open that up. We'll set the first option here to H, open it up, and change this to override settings, player mappable, double click, and we'll set this to HUD mode. Copy that and paste that into display name, add a new option, and we'll leave it as blank again. Override the settings, player mappable, open this up, paste in the name, underscore secondary, like that, and then paste in the display name like that. So once you're done, you should have all 4 of the keybinds here. If you want to, you can change the first keybind to a different key if you want to. Next, we're going to go to the SGK or Survival Game Kit folder and search for controls settings. Controls settings. There we go. Open that up and bring that over here. And we're going to click the top option here in the hierarchy. And we'll scroll down and we want to find our default keys. So here, open that up, add a new entry, scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to name this HUD space mode. So the same name we gave the keybind in our character inputs. And we're going to set that to be our H key. Then we're going to just copy that name, scroll back up to the top, add a new entry, scroll back down, paste that in, and then do underscore secondary, like that, and just leave it blank. Then we're going to add another new entry, and this will be our chat mode, and this will be enter. Scroll back up, add a new entry, and this will be chat mode underscore secondary, like that. Leave it empty. Then scroll back up, add a new entry, and this one will be our social space menu, and this will be N. Then we'll scroll back up, make another new entry for the secondary option, so just copy the name and do underscore secondary, then scroll back up, add a new entry. This one will be hide chat, so hide chat, and this is bound to J. Then scroll up and add a new entry and copy the name, paste it, and do underscore secondary and leave that one as none. Then we can compile and save this blueprint. Next, we'll go back to the content browser and we're just going to search for main menu. Open that up. And we're going to find our control settings here in the hierarchy and find the default keys. So for me, it hasn't done it, but you might have like a back facing arrow. If you do, just click that. Once you're finished, you should have the same number of keys. And if you scroll down, you should see all of those options we added. So we'll check the in-game menu as well, just to make sure. Menu. In-game menu, open that up, and then find control settings, and you can see it's done it for me on this one. So if I scroll down, I don't have those inputs, so we'll scroll back up, click that, and it should add those in for us. So you can see we've got those inputs now. So we'll compile and save that. Now we can go back to the SGK controller and we'll replace these keys. So we'll right click and search for hide chat, and we want the hide chat underneath the enhanced action events, so like that. And when triggered, well, actually we want when started, we'll connect that up to here, and then we can delete the J key. We can compact this back down so it gives us some space. Then we want the social menu, so we'll just search for social menu, open that up. Started goes into here, and we can delete N, and we'll just collapse this to give us some more space. Then we want the chat mode, click that, open this up. Started goes into here, we'll delete this. And then the last one is our HUD mode, so HUD mode, and open that up and plug that into here and delete the H key, like that. So now we've set up all of our keybinds. Next, we're going to go to the Survival Game Kit folder and we're going to search for SGK Game Mode. And we want SGK Game Mode, open that up. And over here in our class defaults, we're going to set the player state to our CGG player state, like that. Then we're also going to change the game state class to the CGG game state class, like that. then compile. If you've modified Survival Game Kit and you have either your own game state or player state, you'll need to go to those custom blueprints and add the CGG player state or CGG game state components to your blueprints. But since we're just using a stock Survival Game Kit, we don't need to do that. We can just use the CGG ones. Next, we're going to go to the CGG player state component. So we're going to go to chat groups guilds, search for state, and we want the player state component. And in here, we're going to go to the event graph, and we're going to copy these two nodes here. Then we're going to go to the game mode, so SGK game mode that we had open earlier. Go to functions, game, spawn default pawn at transform. And here you can see this is where we set our player name. We're just going to paste in those nodes and plug that into here like that. If you've already implemented Steam, you don't need to do this part as you're already getting the name from Steam. But if you haven't and you want to do this part, then compile. Next, we're going to set up our player's nameplate. Now this part is optional, so if you don't want the player to have like a health bar and name above their head, you don't need to follow this part. So to start, we're going to go to the Survival Game Kit folder, search for SGK master character, open that up. And in here, we're going to add a nameplate component. We're also going to select the capsule component and add a widget like that. Then we're going to go to class settings and we're going to go to the interfaces, hit add and search for nameplate. And we want CGG nameplate like that, then compile. Next, we need to set up our interfaces events. So if I click this drop down and we go to nameplate, we've got these functions that we'll need to set up. The easiest way to do this will be to go to our CGG character and copy over the code. So I'm going to go to CGG folder and I'm going to search for character and I'm just going to open up the character. And in here, we're going to open up interfaces, nameplate. We're going to start by copying over the code from replace name. So I'm just going to highlight all that, copy it, go back to the SGK character, open up that function, paste in these nodes. We'll grab the first node and connect it up to here like that. We can delete this node. Then we're going to right click the CGG player state and do create variable. Then do the same thing with the player ID like that. Then compile. Then we're going to go back to CGG character, open up player ID, do the same thing here. We're just going to copy these and we're just going to go through and do the same thing here. So player ID, take this node, plug it into the beginning, delete this return node, and we don't need to create any variables, so we'll just compile. Go back to CGG character, then show nameplate. We'll just tick this on. So in here, we'll open up show nameplate, tick that on. Then we'll go back to CGG character, guild, copy this code, and paste that into our CGG guild. So we'll drag this to the beginning, connect that up, delete this node, and we'll right click and do create variable on player guild. Then last one is our name, so we'll grab that from our character, just copy all of these and paste that in here, connect this up to the beginning, delete the return node and right click player display name, create variable. Now by default our nameplate will still show up above our character even if they die, so if you don't want that to happen we can go to show nameplate, you can right click and do get character component and scroll down and grab that. From there do character dead, get character dead, and then drag out from that and do not boolean, and then plug that in here. If you do want the name to show up when the character's dead, you can just disconnect this and leave this ticked on, but I'm going to connect mine up like this. Next, we're going to select the widget component over here. We're going to change this to the space option to screen. We're going to set the widget class to floating, and floating nameplate 1 is without the without the health bar, and floating nameplate 2 is with the health bar. So I'm going to select that one. Then we've got our draw size. So for that, I'm just going to go to CGG character, select the widget. We're just going to right click and copy that value, and then go back to our SGK character and paste that on here like that. Then for location, we're going to change this to be 85. This is basically the position of the widget. So if you double click the widget here, you can see in the viewport, that's going to be the location of our widget. You can move this around if you want to. Then over here, we're going to set the pivot to 1 in the Y like that. Then we'll compile. So now we can actually test this out to make sure it's working. I'll hit play. You'll see we've got our nameplate floating above our character's head. You can see that currently it doesn't really move with the character's head, it just moves with the capsule. If you want it to follow more closely with, say, the character's head, you can do that. So we'll go back to the character, and in here we can drag our widget from the capsule over to our mesh like that. And then we can set a socket. So we can set this to say follow our head. Select head. You can see the position's not in the right place, so we'll just reset the locations. We can just move this up a little bit. And now if I compile and I hit play, you can see that as my character moves, it actually stays right above my character's head. So this is completely personal preference. If you prefer the other way, you can leave it that way, or you can change it to work like I've got now. Now you may have noticed our health bar isn't updating. That's because we haven't set up the health component yet, but we'll sort that out. And we've also got our chat now showing, but it's in the wrong place. It's covering up our stats. So I'll show you now how you can move widgets around so you don't have that problem. So we'll exit out of this. And in the chat group skills folder, we're going to search for HUD, and we'll open up our chat group skills HUD. And in here, we can just select our chat. If you hold shift, it allows you to kind of move it on the same sort of horizontal position. I'm just going to move mine over here. Obviously, you can move this wherever you like. I'm just going to be putting on the right hand side. So I'll compile. Now, if I was to hit play now, our chat wouldn't actually be in this position. It'd be somewhere else. And that's because its anchor point is currently set down here. So what we'll do is change our anchor, and I'm going to set it to the bottom right hand corner instead. Obviously, if you move it up here to the top right hand corner, you want to set the anchor to top right hand, and then the same for anywhere else on the screen. So once you've done that, you can compile. Also, if you wanted to, you could actually remove the player health widget here. All you need to do is select it and delete it. And then we've got our group members panel. So this will show up our group members health values. You can move this wherever you like as well. Next, I'm going to show you how we can hide the CGG widget when we enter, say, our inventory or our main menu screen. So for that, we're going to go to the content browser. We'll get rid of this search. Then in Survival Game Kit, we're going to search for player inventory. Open that up. And in here, we're going to go to, or we're going to search for init, and we want initialize player inventory. So open that up. And in here, I'm just going to move these nodes back a little bit so we've got some space. We're going to right click and do get SGK character. Drag out from that and do get controller. Then drag out from that and do get component by class. And set this to CGG controller. And we want the CGG controller component. Drag out from that and do promote variable. We'll just call this CGG controller component. And we'll connect this up here. So connect up to here and then connect this up here like that. Then compile. Then we're going to search for toggle, and we want the toggle inventory. Then we're going to right click and search for CGG controller. We want get CGG controller component. Drag out from that and do unhide. And we want this connected up to the top here. And then drag out and do hide. And we want hide at the bottom here like that. Then we'll copy these nodes. Then we'll open up the toggle code lock UI, and we're going to paste those in here like that and connect these up like that. Then we're going to go to the build part name UI, open that up and paste these in. We actually need to reverse these, so unhide will go at the bottom and we'll connect that up here, and hide will go at the top like that. Then we'll compile. Next, we're going to go to the content browser and we're going to search for player building. We want the player building component, open that up. And in here, search for toggle nameplate, open that up. And here, there is a add to viewport. Click the down arrow here and set the Z order to 100 and then compile. Then we're going to go back to the player inventory. And in here, we're going to search for open code lock UI. Then in around about here, we're going to right click and do get CGG controller component. Drag out from that and do get CGG HUD. Then from that, we're going to drag out and do is valid. We'll connect the execution pin up to here. Then not valid down to open inventory. Then we'll drag out from CGG HUD and do set visibility. and we'll connect this up to isValid, and then the output pin to inventory open. Then invisibility we want to set to non-hit testable self only, like that. Then we'll compile. Next, we're going to set up the health component. So for that, we're going to go back to the initialize player inventory function, and we're going to drag out from the SGK character and do get component by class. Then from that, we're going to set the component class to health. We want basic health component. Drag out and do set. Drag out and we want where is it? Promotes variable, and we'll call this health component, like that. And we'll just set this before our CGG controller. So just connect it up here, connect this up here, like that. Then we're going to drag in, get our health component, drag out from that and do set current health. And we'll drag out from the input and do get starting health. Then we'll drag out from health component again and do set max health. And we want to drag out from max health and do get max health. Not like that. Drag out from max health and do get max health. And we want the bottom option here, like that. Then we'll just connect these up to here, these two to each other, and then this to our input here. So once you're done, it should look like this. Next, we're going to go and search for decrease. We want decrease health. And in here, we're going to right click, do get health component. Drag out from that and do set current health, and connect that up here and here. Then connect the current health to our current health here. And we'll copy these, paste them in down here, connect them up for our set current health, like that. Then we'll copy these, and we're going to search for increase. And we want increase health, and we're going to set our current health after this node, get the max health, plug that in here. Then copy these nodes again, paste them in here, and add them before this node. Then we want to set them from this add node, and then another one down here, and connect it up from here to here, and grab our max health and plug it into current health. So it should look like this once you're done. Then we're going to go back to our SGK master character, so content browser, search for SGK master character, open that up. Then in components, search for health and basic health component, like that. Then compile. Now the next section is optional. It's basically for if you ever want to use the health bars, the floating health bars for build parts. If you know that you won't need to, you can skip this part. But if you might want to in the future, you will need to follow this. So we'll start by going to the floating. We need to select the chat group skills. We go to floating nameplate 2 and open that up. Then go to the graph. Then we're going to go to health bar amount, open that up. And we're going to start by moving this down a little bit to give us some more space. I'll just drag this down as well. Then from here, we're going to get the nameplate actor. We're going to cast to master build part, like that. We're going to connect this up to is not valid, and then cast fail down to here. Then we're going to copy these nodes over here, copy and paste them down, like that. Connect this up to our cast node, like that. Then over here, we're going to do get build part. I forgot to set this, so we'll drag out from our cast node and do promote variable. We'll call this build part, like that. Connect that up here and here. Then we're going to do, we'll drag it in and get our build part. From that, we're going to do get current health and drag out and do get max health. Then we'll plug current health into the top option here and the max health into the bottom, and delete these nodes and move these like that. Then we're going to, around here, we're going to drag out and do is valid, like that. And if it's not valid, we run this code, and if it is valid, we want to drag this all the way down to our branch node here. You can tidy this up and make it look cleaner. I'm just going to quickly add some reroute nodes like that. Then for the input object, we're just going to plug in our build part like that, then compile. Next, we're going to do pretty much the same thing in the updates health text amount. So we'll open that up and we'll drag this down to give ourselves some more space. I'm going to copy and paste this as well, like that. and then we'll get our nameplate actor, cast to master build part, like that. We'll plug that in here, and the cast file down to our branch there, and we'll drag out from here and do set build, and we want set build part, and we can connect that up to here. Then over here, we're going to get our build part. I'll just get that from over here. Then do get current health, plug that into the top one, and then do get max health, and plug that into the bottom one. We'll delete those nodes, like that. And then over here, we're going to add in, and it's valid. And if it's not valid, we run this code, and then if it is valid, we can run our branch over there. And then the input will be our build part, like that. So once you're done, it should look a bit like this. Now we're almost finished. There's just a couple of extra things that we can do. So we'll start by going to the SGK controller. So select Survival Game Kit, search for SGK controller, open that up. And in here, we're going to go to the, we'll search for toggle, and we'll find toggle in-game menu. And just here, we're going to get our CGG controller component, drag out from that and do unhide, like that. Connect that up to here. Now, if you want your chat to be hidden when you open up the in-game menu, you can add in a hide CGG HUD node here, like that. And if you want it to still be visible, then you can just copy these nodes and paste them down. So it's up to you which one you connect. I'm going to have mine hide, so I'm just going to leave the top one connected. Next, we're going to go back to the content browser, and we're going to search for master menu panel. Open that up. And in here, we'll go to graph, and then we want to go to widgets, select widget. And in here, we want to go to the player inventory. So open up the player inventory. And in here, we're going to drag out from the cast node and do get CGG controller. And we want the controller component here at the bottom. Drag out from that and do unhide. And we'll connect that in between these two nodes like that. Then compile. Then next we're going to go to the SGK controller. So just open that back up. Then event graph. And for the chat mode here, or our enter chat mode, we'll just drag this out to give us some more space. I'm going to add some extra checks to make sure that we don't enter chat mode in certain situations. So we'll drag out and do if, and we want to get the player inventory. From that, drag out and do inventory open. We want get inventory open, connect that up to here. We'll disconnect from true. We'll drag out from false and do is valid, and create an is valid node. And then we're going to drag out from the input object and search for escape menu, like that. And then if not valid, we'll connect it up to our toggle message input mode, like that. This will just stop our player being able to enter the chat mode if the inventory is open or if the in-game menu is open. So now we can actually test this out. I'm just going to compile this blueprint, head to our showcase and hit play. And you can see we've got our character, we've got our nameplate above our head. I can hit enter and type a message. If we press H, we've got our HUD mode. If we press N, we've got our social menu. And all of these tabs are all working. We can create a guild, so just create a new guild. You see that our nameplate updates as well. And when we open up our inventory, those panels are hidden. And also when we open up our in-game options, they're hidden as well. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.